often do really demonize carbs. And the thing I've noticed online is if anyone kind of sways one way towards, let's say, animal-based, keto, whatever it may be, oftentimes they're very hesitant and very defensive, I would say. So if I say, no, you don't need to follow a carnivore diet and carbs aren't the enemy, they're not going to kill you, they could actually be quite good for you, people will jump on that very quickly. How dare you say that? You're wrong, you're this, you're this. Back once again, actually funny enough with a new name on the channel. We're looking at Mia, who's going to talk about her trying the animal-based diet for a week. And the reason why I actually wanted to bring this up is because I see it all over the internet at the moment. The carnivore diet, the animal-based diet, things along those lines. And so many influencers and creators are preaching about how it's the best thing in the world, it's basically changed their life and fixed all their health problems. And I get some messages from people saying, how valid is this? And I feel like it's probably worth discussing. Obviously, before I do so, if at any point throughout this entire video you actually just like something I've said or agree with it, I would very much appreciate it if you did subscribe to the channel. So essentially the animal-based diet and the carnivore-based diet are very similar things. And what they essentially entail is animal-based products. So removing a lot of things that don't come from animals, but I believe with the animal-based diet you are allowed to eat fruit and things of that nature, whereas carnivore I don't believe you are. So basically it's very protein and fat heavy because there's only going to be so many carbs you get from fruit. Loads of people online are speaking about how this is like a godsend for their problems, their health issues, their hormones, their bloating, their weight gain. You kind of have to dissect that a little bit. When looking at the animal-based diet, you'll notice how it's going to be very heavy on the protein and fats because a lot of your sources will be meat-based and a lot of your sources will be egg-based. And you're limiting your carbohydrate intake through essentially things like fruit and honey. You'll notice here that the plate is looking very similar to all the future plates we're going to see. Eggs, meat, fruit, things of that nature, and maybe a fat source, avocado, butter, cheese, whatever it may be. The carnivore diet or animal-based diet is nothing crazy. It's nothing special. Creators often preach the animal-based diet or a similarity of sorts for a specific reason. For example, reason A might be because of recent weight gain and they want to do this to see if it helps them lose weight. This may well actually result in weight loss because, quite frankly, it's actually a little bit harder to eat in a calorie surplus when you're depriving yourself of nearly an entire macronutrient being carbohydrates. So for example, if you're consuming just protein and fats primarily, you're going to be very satiated. Fats and protein are both very satiating macronutrients, which means they're going to keep you fuller for longer. The issue that comes from that is that the diet itself isn't what ultimately made you lose weight. The diet itself simply maybe put you in a position where it was easier to lose weight due to being a bit more restricted with what you were eating, less snacking, things along those lines, therefore contributing to make it easier for you to stay in a calorie deficit, which in turn likely leads to weight loss. The other thing you'll note, the other reason people obviously talk about this is they'll be like, oh, it saved my hormones, I was having so many hormonal problems, and as Mia actually speaks about later on in the video, I lost my period and this brought it back. And again, you have to kind of question why that might be. Did you lose your period because of carbs and the fact that you weren't following an animal-based diet? Probably not. Or did you lose your period potentially due to your fat consumption? A consideration many people don't think about is how vital fat consumption is for hormonal regulation. And if you aren't consuming enough fat in your diet, because a lot of people have demonized fat, or fat makes you fat and all that stuff because it's the most calorie-dense macronutrient, they then avoid it and actually end up eating less of it, which in turn can really negatively impact your hormones. How much fat you should be consuming a day really depends on the individual. For health purposes and whatnot, I typically don't like going below 50 grams of fat a day, sometimes as low as 40. If we can, when not in a deficit period, we do try and keep it a little bit higher. But 40 to 50 is a baseline minimum, I would say. But again, it depends on your BMR, depends on your goals, so many things. One thing I do want to point out, there has been a distinct lack of vegetables throughout this video. A lot of fruit, but a distinct lack of vegetables. And sure, fruits are great, they're fantastic, but vegetables are pretty great too, especially when looking at micronutrients, so don't neglect them. They're not the enemy. Obviously, I've mentioned that vegetables do seem to be lacking throughout this video and this diet, which is convenient. This video is once again sponsored by Magic Mind, who you have seen on the channel before. I've done a video on them in recent months where I spoke about their good stuff, and guess what? I still have some of their good stuff. About 5 or so years ago, Magic Mind created a drink that was essentially created to help boost mental performance, especially when considering high stress environments like working out, training, that kind of sports performance side of things. Having more stress in an already stressful environment doesn't make it better. They created this drink which contains over 100% of your vitamin C and D, something I definitely need more in my system because I'm always ill and I never see the sun, and that was essentially utilized to help boost the mental performance aspect of performance. And although you see a lot of other companies kind of trying to do similar things things online. One of the big issues behind that is that you never really know how safe or trusted what they're creating is, and this is something I'm particularly wary of, especially in this realm, fitness supplements, things like that. I'm always a bit hesitant of what is actually being given to me and what I'm putting in my body, because quite frankly, I put loads of stuff in my body and I want to make sure I'm not causing harm, which is kind of important, but it's also kind of anxiety relieving that the fact that Magic Mind is actually doctor validated and is also backed by over 200 studies. You know, a lot of the times I speak about things on the channel, it's hopefully often evidence-based and comes from a place of science, not just because I said so. And one of the reasons why I wanted to work with Magic Mind again is actually a couple of things. Not only do they donate a portion of their profits to a mental health charity, which is pretty applicable considering the large focus of this channel. It's not only physical health but mental health as well. They're also something that I use, and I always say if I'm going to work with a company, it kind of has to tick a few boxes. One of those boxes is a product I would either use or a product I believe people that are watching this video would benefit from. In this case, it's both. I use them and have done for some time now, as you've seen them about 3 months ago, and I also think people would benefit from them. Another thing that gives me security is the fact they're confident in what they create. If you aren't happy with things, there's a 100% refund policy for 100 days after purchase, which to me is quite nice, because I always say to people and companies, if it's so good and you really believe in it, put your money where your mouth is, and they have done that pretty effectively now, which I also mentioned in the last integration. So I respect it and I appreciate it. And again, if you respect it and appreciate it, all I'd say is this: you never have to, but if you fancy having a gander, click the link down in the description box below, have a look and decide for yourself. And if you like what you see, the code TFNL20 will get you up to 40% off your first subscription for the next 10 days, or 20% off a one-time purchase. You never have to, but I would very much appreciate it if you did consider tickling the link in the description and having a gander and deciding for yourself. But regardless, I appreciate you tolerating my waffle about Magic Mind. You'll notice a lot of natural bodybuilders, be that any gender, when they deficit for such a prolonged period of time where they get very lean, because fat is such a calorie-dense macronutrient with 9 calories per gram, whereas carbs and protein both have 4 calories per gram, they end up having to cut their fat very low to save calories because they're already so depleted and restricted. That in turn leads to a lot of hormonal problems. So you'll notice men have a lot of testosterone issues, women have a lot of other hormonal issues, estrogen issues, progesterone issues, so many things. And after competing, it actually can take them quite a long time to regain normal hormonal function, because again, just because you're re-implementing fat into your diet doesn't mean it's a sudden fix. Sometimes it's going to take some time for your body to start regulating properly again. So the animal-based diet, or the carnivore diet, isn't ultimately going to be the thing that saves your life and fixes your hormonal problems. I think what you should probably first consider is, what does your diet look like now and what is it missing? Is it missing sufficient fat consumption for healthy hormone regulation? Is it maybe resulting in you being a bit of a surplus because you're over consuming calories, which is in turn making you gain weight when you don't want to? Are you fueling with sufficient micronutrients, which is something a lot of people actually neglect? And no, sadly, a multivitamin a day probably isn't good enough for your micronutrient intake. A lot of creators online, unfortunately, especially on TikTok and things like that, the short form platforms will say, will have these issues that many of us may be facing, many women especially may be facing, will basically say this is their saving grace, which ultimately gives people a false expectation and false hope that this is going to save them. Sure, it may help the issues for some of you, depending on what they are, obviously. It's not a magic pill. It's not a saving grace. It's not anything crazy wild that suddenly fixed all your problems. It may well just actually be an opportunity for you to correct deficits your current diet may have because you are neglecting some of the foods being presented throughout the animal-based or the carnivore diet, such as maybe sufficient fat intake, such as maybe sufficient protein intake, things along those lines. Very quickly, link down below, you've got the TFNL coaching application form, you've got the TFNL team training, which for less than $1 a day you can follow a home and gym workout program created by me. You've got the TFNL clothing, and you've also got the TFNL workout and nutrition guide, which are all bloody fantastic if you ask me. Again, always link down below in the description. Another thing that kind of concerns me oftentimes, not with me necessarily, but with people who really heavily promote these types of diets, is that they often do really demonize carbs. And the thing I've noticed online is if anyone kind of sways one way towards, let's say, animal-based, keto, whatever it may be, oftentimes they're very hesitant and very defensive, I would say. So if I say, no, you don't need to follow a carnivore diet and carbs aren't the enemy, they're not going to kill you, they could actually be quite good for you, people will jump on that very quickly. How dare you say that? You're wrong, you're this, you're this. And it does often promote a really narrow-minded approach. I'm not saying me is doing this whatsoever, it's just something I've seen online when looking at certain creators and individuals who lean very heavily towards one dietary belief or approach. And then that ultimately prevents them from being open-minded. It creates a really narrow-minded approach approach where their diet and whatever they do is the only one. Reality is this, is when you're looking at performance, although carbs aren't a macronutrient you need to survive, although I believe you should certainly eat them, you can actually maintain healthy bodily functions without them. They are really, really vital for performance, and they're really going to help especially if you're looking at building muscle, they are actually going to be pretty helpful in that, especially when you're looking at getting stronger in the gym, also going to be pretty helpful with that. Just because you may lean towards one area, such as carnivore, keto, whatever it may be, and that's your belief, I fully respect that you do what's best for you, but it doesn't mean it's the only way. And in fact, there may actually be other ways to help people achieve their goals, be that performance or hormonal or health, that don't necessarily align with your beliefs. And quite frankly, sometimes people actually get quite toxic when it comes to disagreements regarding dietary preferences or dietary beliefs, because they almost hyperfixate and hyper-attach to this diet as a defining characteristic of who they are, because some aspect or element of that diet actually aided whatever issue they were facing, despite it not necessarily being due to the diet, but maybe another variable that is just simply included. If you want to follow a carnivore or animal-based diet, you do you, but you don't need to. It's not a magic pill. It's not going to fix your problems. If there's a hormonal issue going on, there's probably a reason why, and it's worth addressing that. And it may not be to the fact that you're eating carbs. If there's a bloat issue, same sort of situation. And at the end of the day, carbs aren't the enemy. Carbs aren't going to kill you. And carbs actually, in my belief, are going to be your friends. You should eat however is most sustainable for you, what you want to achieve, and your goals. It's all well and good me saying this is the best diet, or you should do this, you shouldn't do this, but if you can't stick to it, it's probably not that great for you. You need to identify what you require from a diet, and also how you can align it with what you want to achieve. Carbs, no carbs, meat, no meat, whatever it is, identify what is most sustainable for you, because that's an aspect of lifestyle, dieting, gaining, whatever it may be, that is commonly neglected. Sustainability is key, as is happiness and enjoyment. But again, like with all my videos, this is simply my opinion, but I'd love to hear your opinion. Do you have any dietary requirements or beliefs that you follow? If so, I'd love to hear it in the comment section below. Thank you for tolerating me. Thank you for tolerating my very short, but I feel needed waffle about diets. And thank you for tolerating the video.